Imagine leaving the heavy, predictable routine of the ordinary world behind and walking straight into an undiscovered dreamland where you are the absolute ruler. Picture the specific parameters of this dominion: a royal bed made of ivory, a throne forged from beaten gold, and exotic meals prepared perfectly to your taste, while rare animals wander your private courtyard. This mental sandbox belongs to the 19th century writer Walter de la Mare. In his poem Tartary, he acts as our guide for this thought experiment. De la Mare presents the poem as a functional blueprint, a method for constructing a perfected version of our surroundings through the raw power of imagination. In the opening lines, the king's environment is heavily fortified and highly luxurious. He rests on a solid ivory bed and commands the room from an ornate golden throne. Even the most dangerous and beautiful elements of the natural world, flaunting peacocks and haunting tigers, exist under the ruler's quiet command within these thick walls. De la Mare highlights this solitary power through alliteration, the repetition of consonant sounds. Listen to the phrase, myself and me alone. That repeating M sound forces you to slow your pace, mimicking the echoing isolation of a single figure in a massive room. In this first stage of the poem, the speaker finds the ultimate fantasy in total control, the absolute power of complete sovereignty and undisturbed solitude. The poem shifts focus as the second and third stanzas wake the kingdom up. Trumpeters bray in the courtyard to announce every meal, and evening lamps glow brightly, while harp, flute, and mandolin music fills the air. The ruler is highly active now. Before the morning star even fades from the sky, he dons his robe, straps on his curved scimitar sword, and readies himself for travel. His method of transport is wild, a carriage drawn by 7 zebras, plunging directly into the dark wooded glades of the territory. The wealth of Tartary manifests in the ruler's total command over a dynamic, noisy, and living environment of pure sensory splendor. To make this wild fantasy feel tangible, de la Mare relies heavily on similes, comparing two different things using the words like or as to highlight a shared quality. He describes lamps as yellow as honey, red as wine, and his robe woven with beads thick as seeds. These similes borrow the stickiness of honey, the warmth of wine, and the texture of seeds to force the brain to feel the court's magic. By anchoring his fantastical kingdom to these everyday objects, the poet tricks our senses into believing we are actually standing on the marble floors. In the final stanza, the poem breaks entirely out of the palace walls. The enclosed courtyards vanish, revealing an endless horizon. The ruler surveys the massive geographical expanse of Tartary, claiming the silver-pale rivers, the deep glens, the dense thickets, and the wide dales. Personification makes the landscape feel alive. The lakes are trembling, and the stars are flashing, giving the physical earth its own emotional, nervous energy. This is the poem's climax. The ruler's imagination expands past the ownership of physical objects to reach a state of vast, harmonious awe with nature. The ivory, the gold, and the zebras represent the full capacity of the human mind to conceive of unbridled beauty. Walter de la Mare wrote these vibrant lines while living in the heavily industrialized, smog-filled 19th century. He stared at gray, crowded streets, yet his mind walked alongside silver rivers. Without zebra-drawn chariots waiting for us today, we are left with the challenge of spotting the hidden magic in the very ordinary trees, streets, and rivers of our own neighborhoods. The king's survey of Tartary provides a perspective we can carry back into our own world, allowing us to view the ordinary through a lens of newfound wonder.